Okay, the radio station's on the last song, and then we'll catch up to it, and then we'll go.
from Nevada. Statements and opinions made on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its affiliates. Fighting Corruption with Anthony Greco. Fighting Government Corruption, the Real Gangsters.
Greetings from corrupt Nye County. I am Anthony Greco, and this is my show, Fighting Government Corruption. Support for KPFF is brought to you in part by Pure Communications, an internet service provider to Pahrump and the surrounding communities. For more information, contact Pure Communications 702-628-5662. Our call-in number here is 775-751-2579. Today I'd go off a little bit off track and not really talk about government corruption. I'd like to talk about our community, and we do have a lot of corruption here, but we had the Wild West Extravaganza, which it was the 17th year. And it was always a great event. For some reason they're calling it the Pahrump Wild West Extravaganza. It's the 17th year. Bob Baker, who started that, did it for over a dozen years, and then he passed away. And it used to say to Bob Baker's Wild West Extravaganza, and it was for the United Way. Bob used to do it for the United Way to raise money. And I want to know, I'm just surprised why they got rid of the United Way, why they got rid of Bob Baker's name. But in a way, I'm a little bit happy because Bob was a real nice guy. He was military. He ran an excellent event, and it's not what it used to be. I don't know who's running it now, but they shouldn't be running for dog catcher. That would be over the top for them. This book here is 2 pages folded in half. Thing used to be at least a ½ inch thick. Full advertisement, People would take whole pages. It just was, and it was a great event. And I don't know what happened to it. But I was there, maybe 4 or 5 hours on Friday. I was there for 14 hours on Saturday, and I was there for 3 hours today. And we were setting up for the Well Owners Association, and we would get talking to people, giving out information. And last night, Saturday night, I was there. I was the last person to leave. And I was just looking around, and the way they set it up, everything was so far spread out. There weren't enough of vendors and people to have it spread out like that. It looked like there was nothing there because of the way they did it. And it didn't look nice and cozy and friendly. It was just cold looking. And I'm sitting there looking around, and there's nobody around, and I'm just looking. And I'm saying, they talk about Pahrump growing by leaps and bounds. And by being at that event, you couldn't see it. And even if the town is growing and the county is growing, the problem I see with our community is it has no soul. There might be some businesses here, but the people that are here now don't care about the community. There weren't that many people at the event. The vendors looked very unhappy. One of the vendors that I know, I've been here 21 years, and I know that vendor was at every event that went on for the time I was here, because the Pahrump Harvest Festival, which they call it the Fall Festival now because it's somebody else who used to run it, has that name. And that used to run excellent too, and it's not what it used to be. And it seems that the people who were the original people from the community, and I'm not saying that they were born here, but the founders that came here 25 years ago, 21 years ago, like when I came here, even 15 years ago, they had pride in their community. And I don't see it anymore. We have a lot of good people here, but I just don't see the pride. And that's why I said, I'm looking around and I'm saying, this place doesn't have a soul anymore. I don't know why. So I was pretty upset at what went on. You know, people say that I say bad things about the community, and I definitely do, because if there's something bad going on, I'm going to tell you. If there's something good going on, I'm going to tell you that too. Because you can't sweep the bad under the rug, because then the good doesn't have any place to walk because it gets too bumpy. So that's why you have to talk about the good and the bad. And you want to talk about the bad to get rid of it. You talk about the good to keep it. So that's the thing. But this is just a very sad situation, and the people that could see this online could see. I mean, here's a page. Here's the back page, and Carl Jogger has Carl's opinion. He has a YouTube channel, and he talks about conservative values. I know Carl, and I didn't know he was doing this, and I actually talked to him and told him to come up here and we could discuss a couple of things. But he took the whole back page. And then on the inside of the back page, 3/4 of it is the map of the parade route, and then we have a couple of 1 by 2 inch ads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them at the bottom of that page. This is sad. These are people that would take whole pages at one time. You know, that's why Walmart even took something. Mom's Diner, they're great. They always get involved in our community in a good way. This one page here was for the melodrama. Now we have another page here in the front for the stagecoach ride. Now here's the crazy thing. We have the route for the parade route. Now I remember the parade used to start all the way down by the dry cleaners over by Dandelion and 160, and it would come all the way down 160, and it would go to Boot Hill Road past the event, at Petrick Park, and the parade would stop there. And the idea of that was, years ago, the people would follow the parade they would watch the parade and they'd get behind it and follow it into the event. Well, this went from Boot Hill Road, around Boot Hill Road to another street, up along the park and through the park. Well, who's going to watch that parade? Half of it is the vendors are in the way. The park is in the way. The horse corral is in the way. So what do you got room for? Maybe 500 people? I don't think anybody came to see the parade. I mean, I don't understand why they keep... We're growing by leaps and bounds, but they keep shrinking everything down. Now, I really don't know who's running this Wild West extravaganza, but they should give it to somebody that really knows what they're doing. Because this was horrible. I mean, if that is community pride, you could tell why we have no soul. There was no pride in that event whatsoever. It was horrible. I'm telling you. I mean, Bob Baker has got to be looking down at our community, turning around saying, what did you do to my event? Because this is not even an event anymore. I've seen flea markets and yard sales run better than this. This was very, very sad. If anybody was there, I doubt if we're going to get any calls. There wasn't that many people there. Our phone number is 775-751-2579. Okay, I have something going on in the community for May 18th of this year. And it's going to be at Coyote Corner and Big Dick's Pizzeria, presenting the 4th Annual Car and Bike Show. Okay, now this is at 3971 East Kellogg. Okay, if anybody knows where Lakeside Casino is, which probably everybody does, on Homestead, you would go past Lakeside Casino on Homestead, and where the post office is, you would make a left and go down to Coyote's Den, and it's going to be a car and bike show. If you need any information, ask for Sue, 702-503-8996. Now, let's see how that event runs as a private business and what happened with the Wild West extravaganza. Truthfully, next year I probably will not go to the Wild West extravaganza. I'll give the Paramount Fall Festival one more shot this year. But this has disintegrated to a calamity of errors since it left Saddle West. Bob Baker always had it at Saddle West that I know of. And why I know is because I used to do security for the Wild West extravaganza. And it's just to watch, if anybody knows Michael Reeder, he was a guy who built all the structures for the Wild West extravaganza. And he had a guy named Ben that used to work with him, and between the two of them, they would move those buildings all year long, back and forth. And they would also, Mike and Ben built them. They were designed by Mike. Mike passed away in 2011. And Walt Rubio was part of that. And he was the guy who used to have the cannons, and he had Rubio's Sporting Goods on 160, and Walt passed away a few years ago too. So the people who were really firmly set into this are gone. I mean, Sharon Worley was there back from the time I was going. She was in charge of security at the time there, and she was part of Bob Baker's Wild West extravaganza. Now, she's done it for so many years, she should know what this event should be all about. Unless she can't remember, but she's probably there longer than anybody else, and for somebody to allow this event to deteriorate like this should be ashamed. She should be ashamed of herself. If she's no longer capable of doing this because she's the sheriff, then she should pass it on to somebody who really cares. Because this event, the way it went off, looked like nobody really cared about it. And it was sad because it was one of the major things that went on in this community. And there for a couple of years they had actually, because Dan Shinhofen, he was a commissioner here, and he used to do the Bluegrass Festival. And for a couple of years they started putting the Bluegrass and the Wild West Extravaganza together. And the Bluegrass Festival wasn't involved. I don't know, since Dan might be doing something else now, that he's not doing that. So, and you could tell that this was not well organized and it just didn't have any soul. It's really sad. It's really sad. So, let's get down to the 4th annual Car and Bike Show on May 18th. It's a Saturday at 3971 East Kellogg. Okay, and let's see what else they're going to do. They're going to be serving breakfast at 7 a.m. and lunch will follow at 11 a.m. And I guess if you're a car or a bike enthusiast and you have a car or a bike that you want to put in there, call up Sue and find out. And let's make this a nice event for our community. You know, there was another thing that I noticed. There weren't that many kids at the event. And that's how you keep tradition, is by bringing the children to see it, and that's how the event stays the way it's supposed to stay. And I'm just very unhappy about that. Anybody there? 775-751-2579. Now, well, I'm going to be going back to how I had first started this program back 6 or 7 years ago. And I don't know if anybody remembers this. I had made this in a newspaper for people that are online could see it. It says Dump District Attorney Brian Coonsey. And I had a full-page ad in the Mirror. This was Thursday, May 8th, 2014. And what I did was I made it so people could turn around and take the paper and fold it in half and put this on their front door of the house as a poster to dump Coonsey. And I turned around and said who paid for it and everything. And the poster was provided by Fighting Corruption with host Anthony Greco. And at that time we were on internet TV at 7 o'clock at night. And now we're on the radio, but we went back to the internet because we get more people. Oh, we have a phone call? Go ahead, caller. Caller? You got to shut your radio off, caller. I could hear it. Can you shut your radio, caller? Can you shut your radio off?
It's off.
Okay, what's going on?
How's Mr. Greco this evening? This is Lazy Dog, and he is back in town. The town is not safe again.
Okay. Okay, it's not. When'd you get back?
No, just in time to fuel the truck and have 2 beers and get home.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So you missed Wild West Extravaganza.
Let me give you the quick highlights of this trip, and I'll get off here so you can get on with the show.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Take your time.
4,373.8 miles, 11 days, 10 states, 9 towns visited, approximately 100 people interacted with. Today was 9 hours and 570 miles. The longest day was 13 hours and 777 miles, which probably wasn't acceptable, but I didn't ask them, and I'm not commercial.
Mm-hmm. So you got back safe. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a lot of work for you. Wait until I see you. I'll fill you in on it.
I got work to do, huh?
Oh, we got work for you to do. Yeah.
Are you going to let me rest a day or two? I'm kind of tired.
Oh, we'll even give you a week.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a week.
Piece of cake.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to see everybody you wanted to see?
I certainly did.
Good.
And I actually saw a couple I didn't expect to see.
Oh, good.
It really worked out well. I visited the 4 cemeteries I wanted to go to, 2 in Iowa and 2 in North Dakota. The ones in North Dakota, I walked them. that was an eye-opener because there were quite a few headstones of people I knew that had died in the last 10 years that I didn't know were gone, and they were a lot younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a shocker. But you know, it's life. The biggest single shocker of the whole trip was the river there in that valley had been lined on both sides with very majestic elm trees, and the elm disease pretty much the valley bare. There's not a lot of trees left, which was a real shocker.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get to lay my hands on the stone wall I helped build in the park entrance when I was about 12 years old. That was a real thrill to me to be able to touch that after having worked on it.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, it all in all, it was a spectacular trip.
I'm interested in the cause. What's going on with the cause?
Well, I went to look at the car, and we pulled the tarp off, and it's absolutely stunning. Black on black. It's a 1966 Plymouth four-door hardtop. It's the VIP model, all leather interior, black on black. The only seat wear is where the driver would sit, and there's not really wear. It's just that the cushion's pressed down there because it's only got 20,000 miles on it. But the surprise was in the same building there are two other cars, an early 70s hardtop Impala with 70,000 and a mid-70s four-wheel hardtop Cadillac with 80,000. So it was quite a feast.
Yeah, I'm a car nut. I love cars. And I like them the way they come from the showroom. When they start putting all those flare wells on them and stuff like that, I want to puke.
Yeah, these are absolutely original cars.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in them. I'm gonna work on that. Obviously, I can't take a trailer in the back of my truck and bring back three, so that presents a bit of a problem. Of course, three of them cost a bundle of cash. That presents another problem, but you know, it's all workable.
Right. Right. Yeah, they got guys that do that all the time.
I'll let you get back to your show, Anthony. I tuned in to about 5 minutes into it to hear you describing the Wild West. That is sad.
It was very sad. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was the last person to leave there, and I'm telling you, I was like dragging my feet walking out of there. It was depressing. It was horrible.
What would you guesstimate the total attendance to be?
It was so low I couldn't even figure it out.
Well, it was like that first Art Soul event also, huh?
Yes, it was. There were more people, there were more vendors than people.
Yeah, a wonderful event with no participation by the community.
Yeah.
That is a major problem, and I think you hit the nail on the head that